Hello, I'm Rhonda Meyer here from Rhonda's House of Wellness and Fitness. So I want to start first with just an assessment. So I want you to stand just normally, feet about hip width apart. Don't try to get it right or force anything to happen at all. But I just want you to start with your feet and just pay attention to where in your feet you're feeling more pressure. So let's start on your left side. Where do you feel more pressure or more of your body weight? Is it in your toes? Is it around the ball of your foot? Is it on the outside? Maybe it's on the inside of the arch. Maybe it's a little bit more on the heels. So start on your left side and then think about what's happening on your right side. Where are you? Do you feel more pressure, more of your body weight in the front of your toes? Maybe around the ball of your foot? Maybe your heel, or maybe the outside of the foot. So don't change anything, just kind of be aware of what's happening. And then I want you to go upstream. So what's happening in your ankles? Do you feel stiffness? Do you feel your body weight shifted more on one side than the other? If you do feel any stiffness, is it on the inside of your calf or on the outside of your calf? Start on the left side. And pay attention, maybe you feel a little bit more tension in the middle of your calf, and then switch to the right side. Where do you feel tension, any tightness? Do you feel like both feet are firmly planted, or do you feel like one heel might be lifted up and maybe in that calf there's a little bit more tightness? And then I want you to switch to the left side and think about what's happening around your knee. Do you feel any tension, any pain, any pulls? Do you feel any shifting there? And what about the right side? Does that feel different? Do you feel more of maybe a pull or tightness on the outside of your knee, or maybe at the inside? Maybe below the kneecap or above the kneecap, or maybe right behind the kneecap? And then think about your quads. So what's happening here? Do you feel like that it's very tight, that it's holding more of your body weight in your thighs? Does the left side feel tighter than the right side? Or maybe do you feel a little bit more tightness on the outside of the hip, the IT band? How does that feel? Just pay attention. You feel free to put me on pause too, and then take notice of this. And then switch to your right side. Does the right side feel tighter or looser? Maybe it doesn't feel like anything, but the left side, you notice it more. Maybe on the right side, you feel more of the IT band here, that there's some tightness, or maybe it's on the inside of your adductors. Maybe the left side feels loose, but the right side feels tight. And then go to your butt. Do you feel any tightness there? Maybe one side, maybe is there a little bit more of a twinge on your left side than on your right? Do you notice maybe your hips are a little bit twisted and one side's more forward than the other? Just kind of take inventory and then go ahead and scale up. Like, where do you feel this in your quads? Do you feel maybe a little bit of tension in your lower back? Do you feel some tension around your ribs? Or maybe this feels okay, but you feel tension in your back. And maybe the left side feels tighter than the right, or maybe it feels a little bit twisted. So just take notice, just take inventory, don't change anything. And then I want you to go up to your shoulders. Does one side feel tighter than the other? Does one side feel like it's turned more like this than the other? So start on your left side and just notice where you might feel tension, shoulder, neck region, maybe through the collarbone, or even down the outside of your arm, and then all the way down to your forearm. Where do you feel any tension, any tightness? And what about the neck? And then also switch sides to the right side. Do you feel any tension in the neck? Does it feel different than the left side? More loose, more tight? Think about the collarbone, the outside of the arm, all the way down to the forearm, in your hands. Maybe one hand feels a little bit more drawn in than the other, and the other one's more open. And then turn your head to one side and just take inventory. Do you notice that it's cracking, snapping? And then turn to the other side. Does that side feel more stiff? Does it feel stiff here, or does it feel stiff on the outside? And then tilt your head. Do you feel any tension up the back of the neck, or even the back of the head? Just take inventory. Don't change anything right now, because that will change as we start to move. Okay, so just take inventory, write things down if you want to, and then we'll go back to it. So I want you to look down at your feet, and then I want you to bring your feet so that you can actually just put a fist right between your feet. All right, and so now I want you to ball up your hands like this, and then I want you to place them right on the outside of your temples, and then I want you to close and open, close and then open, close and then open. So I want you to do that for about 30 seconds. And then I want you to same thing, same hand position like that, and then I want you just to scissor your arms, and do that for about 30 seconds. And then I want you to reach down. So how far can you come down? And just notice how far you can come down. Tap your legs. Do you notice that one hand is a little bit further than the other? Just notice that. And then when you come down, notice whether you're feeling more tension on one side of the body than the other. But just notice how far you can come down. Okay. And now I want you to step out and then take a tennis ball or a small ball that is not a lacrosse ball. It's too aggressive. And then just place this on the bottom of your foot, and then just roll it around. So I want you to do this for a full minute. Roll it around the outside, inside of your foot, and toes. Don't press down really hard. You're just trying to affect the fascia, so go really, really light. So 1 full minute, then switch feet. And then roll that around and massage the bottom of the foot. Okay, now I want you to reassess. So feet together, and then I want you to go down, and notice whether you can come down a little bit further than before and whether you feel less tension. Remember, spend 1 minute on each side with a tennis ball. And now feet a little bit wider, and then I just want you just to kind of rock from side to side. So really nice and easy. So do this for about 30 seconds. Then I want you to incorporate the arms and just start swinging. All right, do that for about 30 seconds, and then bring it up a little bit higher, and then turn and look at the hands too. All right, do that for about 30 seconds. And then I want you to get into a running stance. So toe against heel, so heel toe. And then I want you just to get into like a sprint position, and then just move your arms as fast as you can, 30 seconds. Then I want you to switch sides, sprint position, and then I want you to just pump those arms as fast as you can for 30 seconds. Okay, now I want you to reassess your feet, and then also all the way up the kinetic chain. Do you notice any changes? So take some time and really think about what you're feeling and whether things have changed. Okay, and now we're going to take a foam roller. And then I want you to put your calf right, so put the foam roller right behind your calf, and then cross one leg over the other. So this might be enough that you might feel really some tightness and some sharp pains in there. And that's okay. If you feel like you could take a little bit more pressure, then lift up your upper body and then just roll across the foam roller. And where you feel some tenderness, I want you to stay there for about 10-15 seconds. If that feels too much on your arms and shoulders, then just do this. If crossing one leg over was too aggressive, then just stay here and then just move the foam roller like this. Find a spot and then move the ankles around. Move the ankle around the other way. Just keep moving, and then push on the gas pedal, lift, push on the gas pedal and lift, and the same thing on the other side too. So I want you to spend about 2 minutes per side on this. And then you're going to move the foam roller up a little bit more, go right on your hamstring, roll all the way up to really below your butt. Notice what you feel. If you feel some tension in your back, go super slow, super slow, and notice where you feel more some sensitivity. So spend a minute each side on this, on the hamstrings. All right, roll them wherever you feel some tenderness, then stop, hold for 10 to 15 seconds. And then I want you to use the foam roller as a guide. So we're going to do T-walk, so hands here, and then you're going to balance on one leg and the opposite leg goes behind. So as soon as you start to hinge forward, I want that back leg to lift and push away. So I want you to do that. for about 1 minute on each side. Reach out. So where you're going to feel this is right up the hamstring and right up the glute as well. So do that 1 minute on each side. And then I want you to get into calf raises. So I want you to roll up to your toes and then down, roll up to your toes and down. So what you've done is already release the calf, and now we're adding some movement to it to pump the muscles, pump the ligaments and tendons. All right. And then I want you to stand about shoulder width apart. So I want you to do calf raises for about 1 minute. And then I want you to do a 1 1/4 squat. So I want you just to slowly sit back. Notice where you might be shifting. You might even need to look in the mirror. Some people shift to one side or the other. Just notice that for you. Come up a little bit, back down, and all the way up. So I want you to do that for a full minute if you can. And then I want you to reassess.